Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the EcoStruxure Machine Expert HVAC. I'm your host, Leandro Mada, and in this video what we're going to see is the if syntax that we have in the software. So let's go to the presentation. So basically in the software, when we go to the help, we can find further information on the selection statement if. Okay, so I try to put this like diagram to easily understand different things that we have on if. So basically the if, I just want to put the pen, there we go. So basically the if is like an expression that if what you have put in that condition is true, then you can execute a code. Otherwise you just go to another place and continue with the code. So that's basically the idea. Okay, so I tried like to put this in a box to easily show you what happened. So imagine that this is just one if, if, okay. So as soon as the syntax is executed, the if, it tries to check if the expression of the variable that we have used is true. If that is true, then it runs a part of the code. It doesn't mean to be just one line. It can be a bunch of them. It doesn't matter. And then it just continue with the code that you have. Okay. If that expression is not true, then it continue with the code that you have. Okay. I will run with the no condition. So you can put this if and then put another if below, as in show here. Okay. So basically you have like a cascade, if you want to say. So I have one simple if and then I have another one. So in this case, run code when the expression is false is probably it just go here directly. Okay, it doesn't run anything, it just go to the end and continue with the execution of the code. I'm going to explain you this part because it's going to be much easier than when we saw the code. So basically, if it's true, it's going to be executed. Otherwise, it's just jump and go to the end and continue with the code that you have. And then you can have like a possibility to cascade the if. So I have an if that's true, then inside you have the possibility to use another one, or if not, it goes to another one. So you can do something like this. So if the expression is true, yes, go here, it can go to the end. When the expression is no, then you can go here, true, and then go to the end, and now you just run with the code that you have. And probably this one, it just go over here and continue with the code. But we can see it. Probably now it's not that clear as I thought it's going to be. But the idea is to, okay, I have an if, and then I can have another one inside to go. Probably the best here is that, okay, if this one is true, then I can make another comparison in order to proceed and continue with the code. So let's check this. So because this one is the expression else if. Okay, so if this is my expression that I put over here, it can be a Boolean expression, needs to be a Boolean expression. So it doesn't mean that you have like a Boolean, for example, if I have the digital input activated, then execute this part. No, it doesn't mean that. You can make that comparison. For example, if the temperature room is higher than something constant or a variable, then execute this. Okay, so it will execute everything as I showed in this part. Okay, and then you put over here the amount of lines that you want to execute the code. So the if in this case is done on a structured text. Okay, it's gonna be easy in that way. If you want to use that on ladder, there is not like a if function block. You just need to use the contacts and comparison in order to make, for example, a coil, and then you just probably do a jump to go there into that position, execute something. But in this particular case, let me just let's go up. So that is the expression that we have here for the true. Okay, just execute the true, otherwise it just continue with the code. Okay, let's go to the end and continue. For this one, for the if else if, I can put, for example, if this expression is true, then we'll execute this part, and this is not going to be executed, just go to the end. But if this expression is not true, then it continue with the other condition that I have. And if this one is true, instead of going over here, it's just jump to the end. So this is what I wanted to show you in this part. Okay. If it's true, then you just go here and that's it. If not, we just go here and just go to that spot. And if it's not, it just carry on this port. Okay. Because we have if, else if, or else. If it's not any of these conditions, just execute something. Okay, so basically that's the idea. And in order to be this, like this is not, we just need to add over here an else. Okay. And the code here. Okay, so basically that's the idea. So you have the possibility. Now, let's try to make a test of all this, so we understand the syntax and everything. So we, as I mentioned before, we must have a structure text here. So I'm going to use add new program structure text. So checking if time. Okay, so going to use condition 1. So if this one is true, then for example, let's see, output 1. I have output 1 and I have output 2. So if this condition is true, then output 1 is true, but output 2 is going to be false. Else, just put the things the other way around. Okay, this one false and this one too. Then and if. Okay, maybe I need the semicolon. Let me just check. So we need to put the semicolon at the end, so don't forget it. So in this case, I'm using this, else, otherwise it's not going to be executed. So let's test this behavior first. So if the condition 1 is true, then it will activate the output and vice versa. So let's simulate this. Download this code. Yeah, brilliant. And now let's go to debug. So as you can see, this one is, just put this in the watch or just activate this. As you can see, as this one is false, okay, it doesn't go into this direction, it just executes this part. So that's why the output 2 is on. Okay, so if we want this part, we can comment this so I can show you. This one is still in true because it's the previous value that it has, but if as soon as I put in 0, it doesn't change. So this is the condition now. So if I put the condition 1 in true, then the output 1 is going to be in true. So 1, as you can see, true. And if I put 0, it doesn't reset it. Okay, so what I need to do now is to add that part I had deleted, so we can change. Okay, this part can easily be done in ladder, okay, but or FBD. But just doing this part because this is good for you to practice text. So you can see that output 2 is 1, and if I put this one, just vice versa. Okay, so this is the quick use of the if. Now let's continue with this part. So ST language, yes. So use the syntax if for several bools. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the expression, the result of the expression needs to be a boolean. So I can create another condition. So if this condition variable is true and this condition is true, then activate this. So let's simulate. As you can see, I'm making a whole expression here. So again, this part we're gonna be in this one. The output 2 is gonna be in true because these two are in false. So as soon as I put this one, it's not going to change. Okay, because I'm using the comparison and, so the two values needs to be true. And then as soon as I put this one, it will change. Okay, it will be different if instead of using the and, I use the or. It means that any of those will activate the things that I want here. Okay, true in this case, so I'm going to put in 0 this one. As you can see, I'm still this one in true. As soon as I put this one in false, it's just change. This one only. You can see how you can play with this. It's very simple, just need to use a little bit of logic here. That's it. Syntax for several bool, for a non-bool variable. So basically what we can do here, you didn't explain this before, but for example, before going down, you can, for example, and you have the possibility to use and not. So if this one is in 1 and this one in 0, then activate this. Just quickly show you that, so you can see that you can also add the not, and then I'm going to use an analog value so you can see how it changed this. So if I log in here, so you can see it's true, and as soon as I put this one in true, it will be in this condition, because this one doesn't give you the true values, give you false, because one, the true and not true is going to be like 1 multiplied by 0 is going to be 0 at the end. Now I'm going to use, for example, condition. It's no condition, but it's going to be a variable. So let's change this and condition. So in this case, it's good to use the parentheses just to divide the logic. So as soon as this value is higher than 20, we can execute this part. So let's connect over here to the simulation and do the trick. Connected, yes. So I'm going to put this in true, but as you can see, it doesn't change the state. It doesn't go into this. It just go in here because this condition is false. So I'm going to add 15. It doesn't change. But as soon as I add 20, it will also not change because 20 is equal to 20, is not higher. So as soon as I put 21, it changed the status and it's working fine. So there are a few nice things that you can do. Use the syntax if in cascade. So let's see how we can do this. So for example, else if x condition 2, then if the condition 1 is true, no, then this execute. Okay, else let's create another output. True, false, let's put it this way, false, this one true. I'm going to display what I want to do, false, and true. Okay, so the idea is if this one is not in true, then it just go to this and check. If it doesn't, then it's going to activate this part. So what I'm going to show you now is that I'm going to activate this and this one, and you can see that this part is not going to be executed. Okay, so true and this part. So as soon as I activate, let's put this over here, the condition true, it's not being executed because this one is like a high priority. As soon as this one is already, it just go and go down to the top. So if this condition now is false, it will activate. Okay, and as soon as I put this one condition in false, it will activate the latest one. Okay, and if I put all this in one, the output condition 1, you can see this go here and it doesn't affect the other one. So this is what I want for a cascade. So if the first one is true, it just go up to the end of the if. So I go here, it should go from here, execute this part, it just go here. And if this one is false, it's jump to the next else if, in this case, go here. Okay, and if this one is false, it just go here and execute this part, and that's it. Otherwise, if this one is true, just go to the end, execute this part and go to the end, because this condition is no longer valid. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. I hope it's a little more clear. So in this video we have seen a little bit of the if, how you can use it. It's important to know the structure, use the if, the expression, then your code, and use the end underscore if and the semicolon in order to finish the syntax. Okay, that's important. And also use the else if, ELS if, in order to create like a cascade of ifs. So you don't need to use, for example, if and another if independent. Okay, just put in the same one. So this is it for the if syntax on structured text. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.